Tim Young Toku Ingoa. This is Casually Political, and today I'm going to talk about homelessness. Homelessness is one of those issues that when you talk to people about it, they think that it's been around for a long time and there's no real solution. It's just one of those things that we're always going to have to deal with and accept in society. But that's not quite true. While maybe 1 in 100,000 people have such severe mental illnesses that it's very difficult to keep them housed, but the vast majority of people can be housed, and there has been an effective solution to house homeless people. So an approach that has been found to be very effective is the housing first approach, and that means giving homeless people housing first before dealing with other issues they may be having that has made it difficult for them to find housing previously. That might include problems with physical health, mental health, addiction issues, or problems gaining employment. It maintains that if you give someone a stable place to live, that it's much easier to solve all those other problems in their life. The People's Project is a collaborative approach set up in Hamilton in 2014, which is the first of its kind in New Zealand. It brings together a number of agencies to provide a personalised housing first approach to reduce homelessness. So when the People's Project opened in 2014, the police, social workers and council staff had identified 80 rough sleepers in the city. Since then, there are only 2 out of the 80 original rough sleepers who are still on the streets in Hamilton. It's important to realise that rough sleeping is only one type of homelessness. Homelessness also includes people who are staying in tents in the backyard, couch surfing, sleeping in cars, or are otherwise homeless. A great feature of the People's Project is that the service is not limited to those who are sleeping rough. The project also helps people who are otherwise homeless or are about to become homeless. So at the end of September 2017, the People's Project had helped 422 households made up of single women, single men and families into permanent housing. That includes 309 children who have had to go through the trauma of being homeless along with their families or caregivers. So not only does the housing first approach provide people with a safe place to deal with addiction issues, mental health problems or other problems they may be having, it also allows people to have dignity and confidence, and it helps them build self-esteem and self-efficacy, which are all hugely important for people to be motivated to go out and get a job or contribute positively to society in other ways. So there's this perception that most homeless people are men. And so one interesting finding was that while most rough sleepers, people on the streets, are men, the majority of homeless people that don't have secure permanent housing are actually women. And I'm very concerned about accessibility issues and the way that disabled people are represented disproportionately in negative figures. One interesting stat was that while 24% of the general population is disabled, of the homeless population, 50% had a disability. If you're homeless, you're more likely to have health problems and become disabled, and if you're disabled, you're more likely to become homeless because of the higher cost of living of being disabled, extra difficulty gaining an education, accessing transportation and public toilets, and otherwise accessing the community to participate in the job market, which is probably why employment rates among disabled people are so low. So both of these things are part of the poverty cycle, which is a negative feedback loop that can be largely self-sustaining. What I mean is that if you are currently in poverty, you are more likely to be in poverty again in the future. This is because if you are in poverty, you and your family are more likely to experience stress on a daily basis, you're less likely to have good health, income, and employment for the rest of your life. Meaning not everyone has equality of opportunity to reach their potential and benefit society and the economy as best they can. So the housing first approach tries to break that cycle by giving you a steady foot to stand on to then work on all your other problems. So this is important for homeless people, disabled people, elderly people, and other vulnerable people who find it difficult to maintain solid housing and employment. So it's really important to include homeless people and other people like disabled people in society and allow them in public spaces, because this not only provides them with a sense of belonging and a sense of community participation, it helps them break the cycle of homelessness by scaffolding their ability and opportunities to participate in society with other people when they might not otherwise get the chance. Having access to the library also means they have access to information and communication tools that are crucial for them to empower themselves to gain employment, and to build and maintain relationships with family, friends, and other support groups. The Housing First approach that the People's Project takes clearly works, and it results in a more pleasant and safe city to live in, and it helps treat those most in need with dignity when they really need it. Thanks for watching another episode of Casually Political. Sorry things are getting a little less casual, but these topics are really important. So see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.